Yeah, hi YouTube. It's me again. What's up? Today we're gonna look through progress of 635 East project in 2023 because this is 1 year before its proposed completion. So let's look at it 1 year before it's supposed to be finished. Here we go. So as you can see, I'm at the beginning of the project. I'm near Town East and 635. As you can clearly see, 635 road has been established. So at the exit I-30 right there, they combined into one exit, uh, known as exit 8, can go, and traffic from Town East can be kind of rerouted to over here, where the entrance is gonna kind of be more north and more in the 635 I-30 interchange, like more near that area instead of as close as it usually is. Um, as you can clearly see, concrete barrier. It's only one lane. It's moving pretty smoothly as of now. Just a little. There you can see where the exit ramps to I-30 and to I-30 east and west split off right here. And as that's happening, you actually get to go under. Uh, go under because look, there's a sign. There's a sign for northbound 635. You go under, and then you kind of shift. Yeah, that's where it kind of gets confusing navigating Google Maps sometimes. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, but as you can see they go to their different ways. That's what I'll look at for now. But I think I'll shift my focus for a bit to Gus Thompson. Yes, right here. Because this is kind of where a lot of speculation has ensued, along with the Skillman intersection, because there have been major shifts and closures in those areas. So look, Gus Thompson actually used to go over I-30, but they shifted it. I-30 is not going over. Was gonna be Gus Thompson because Gus Thompson's like completely closed in this area. As you can see, it cuts off at the I-30 frontage road on either side. But yeah, this is the bridge. This is the bridge is going over. That's half of it. This is how it's supposed to look like. This is at Gus Thompson. As you can clearly see, if you can compare it, it's only like half done, and it's only like this side is looking a little decent, but it's kind of because they have to modify everything because they opened the direct connectors to I-30 West before they kind of did Gus Thompson over there, so that kind of creates a little chokehold problem. Now I want to look to Skillman, because Skillman is. Then I'll probably move back to the other parts of the project, but yeah, Skillman is very major because they've been rallying for the reconstruction of that for quite a while now. So right over there. Uh, this this new bridge that was open is actually just a temporary bridge. It's not really supposed to be there in the long run. Yeah, it's only a temporary bridge. It's sad, but yeah, this is only a placeholder for the actual bridge, which is right here. I think I actually have to see how this is gonna look like. I watched the video because I did some pretty decent research on this. Is that Skillman? let's go. So as you can see, Skillman Street's currently in a very it's in a very two-lane configuration, but you know, 635 East project isn't just reconstructing the bridge; it's reconstructing off Skillman Street, and as you can clearly see, there's they're gonna improve sidewalks, improve the area, and yeah, area as a whole is getting improved, which is the whole, which is one of the things they're supposed to do. Um, yeah, this is actually how it looks like from an up top view because it's not complete yet, but as you can clearly see, they're getting some things on it. This is the 635 camera view of it like right now. There are multiple views, so you can kind of see where everything is gonna be. This is kind of more of a, you see a front road, you can see lots of things, but there's view 3, and then kind of see more of the railroad, you see kind of more of Miller Road over there, slash Royal Lane. And while I do like talking about highways, I have to admit, 635 East Project's actually one of the biggest. It's like, cause it took so many years to plan. They've been planning this for years, finding alternatives, finding ways, changing, modifying. But now that it's actually in fruition, it's pretty good. Now I head over to somewhere in Garland, to talk about Jupiter Road. This is how Jupiter Road is looking over here. As you can clearly see, on the eastbound side of 635, not much has been done, but on the westbound side of 635, you can see a bridge, a very huge bridge. Um, and this bridge seems very huge because you look at it and then you look at it and then you see a new entrance ramp being like right over in this area. New entrance ramp, just like front drills are kind of made over there because they use these closures. They do these closures. They use them to make new sections of highway. So yeah, now we're at Walnut Hill. As you can clearly see, there's a little little something going over on the eastbound side, but on the westbound side there's lots of progress. And this was actually in November, so yeah, it's kind of actually more advanced than that right now because I think I have seen it once, maybe once this month, but I don't go around that area that often anymore. So yeah, um, this is at Plano Road. Yeah, they actually closed this entrance ramp and kind of detoured it off to here. That's what they did recently. That's one of the closures they did recently. So this picture was probably taken before that closure. So yeah, they kind of rerouted it, detoured it off. Um, there's Skillman again. Now I'll probably jump over Google Maps and look at the other parts. I'll explore one thing about this thing. They're supposed to be making continuous frontage roads. As you can clearly see, this is a prime time example because Royal Lane and Miller Road, the bridge that goes over 635, new one that was recently opened. As you can clearly see, they've kind of changed it up like majorly. Because look, if you really want to see the progress, this is how it used to look. This is actually how it used to look. Um, it's a whole lot different now. As you can clearly see, Miller Road 2, there's a new bridge. It's like, yeah, there's a new bridge going over I-635, as you can clearly see. It was open like sometime near September. And you also say same for Forest Lane and Abrams, because They were working in these areas. They're working hard to open these bridges. I like to explore because they actually closed the exit to Greenville Avenue recently, and they do like making a new bridge because as you can clearly see, there's a new one there, and the front road because they've been modifying the front road most of the time. 635 main lanes are kind of expected to be taken and kicked into place soon, so we can only hope so because this project kind of has a year left. We got to see how much you can get done in that year because that's very interesting. Because this project is one of the most large-scale projects you've ever seen. Very important one. This is near the end of the project, and as for the other streets, I would say Galloway Avenue at I-30 is a very good one. Galloway Avenue I-635 is in that process. The bridge at Oaks Drive has been open. La Prada is getting there. All in all, this project's kind of scaled for completion soon, and I have to say they've done a pretty good job. But I hope some more 635 main lanes can be open soon, cause yeah, I know I-30 has more, but I-30 is only like 2 miles in the whole in the whole scheme of the project. So yeah, uh, Greenville Avenue. As you can clearly see, there's some modifications near US 75. The acclaimed High Five. Yeah, doing a little bit because the reason why they're doing this is so they can add express lanes to the whole thing. Because they're doing the same thing with I-30. Because you go over to that end, they're trying to add express lanes to the whole to those interchanges to kind of modernize, rev them up a bit. Yeah, all in all, I'll say this project very good. Lots of progress has been made. In the next year, we will see more. But as for now, let me hop over somewhere real quick. I think I may have missed somewhere. Hold on. I-635, I-30 interchange. This is like the one of the highlights. As you can clearly see, there's some work there. More recently, I've been able to see some more work on the 635 end of it. Because there wasn't one open to southbound I-635, but it's very cloudy here. You really can't see a thing. So I might have to segue away from this. This is the near I-30 at Galloway. Can hardly see a thing, but I'll probably hop on Google Maps just to show you how the whole Galloway Avenue interchange looks. Because if you're looking for progress in this whole project, that's probably one of the main places to go. Because that place is progress has been made. Yeah, this is Galloway Avenue going over I-30. Very good, very wide, and it's pretty much look. I-30 switched to some new main lanes. Ramps from 635 doing their job, coming in over from there. Oh no, I've said that many times, but yes, we're getting near completion because let's look at it quite a while ago. This was in 2021. I don't see much being done, but boom, that's how these projects work. So you can definitely say they're trying to complete it as quick as possible. Lots of closures. They've revved it up in 2023 because before, not much has been done except over here. So they've revved it up. They've gotten way more busy with it. So my verdict on this project is that yes, progress has been made. They've done a lot, and since the integration of the project, there have been more continuous frontage roads open. That's one of the main improvements. With sidewalks, new ramps, I-65, I-30 interchange is practically different now, but two more ramps to go. And yeah, thank you. Once again, it's been your boy Lexio. Boy, I know this is kind of a long video, but hopefully more content soon.
Today I'm here to talk about the 635 East project and how it is better construction, what it's currently doing right, as opposed to the last video I made, which was more critical of it. I will reiterate some of the points I made in the last video that I made 9 months ago. So today we're here to talk about 635 East project because it lasts for 11 miles and it goes through 3 cities: Garland, Mesquite, and Dallas. It also includes 2 miles of I-30, and multiple streets are crossed during this project, including Galloway Avenue twice, Gus Thomason, somewhat Northwest Drive, Oates Drive, La Prada Drive, Centerville, Northwest Highway, and Shiloh, Garland Avenue, McCree, Jupiter, Kingsley / Walnut Hill, Plano, Miller / Royal, Skillman, Abrams, Forest Lane, and Greenville Avenue. So the main goal of this project was to kind of improve traffic there in this area because there was a lack of frontage roads, there was a lack of connectivity to certain places because on westbound 635 you couldn't access Garland Road through 635. You had to access it through taking Northwest Highway or Shiloh. You can't even access Shiloh through it 635 because there was lots of half and half exits going through the way because they didn't want local roads in Garland, and that kind of caused lots of problems because there's lots of places where the freeway goes over, but you can't access it. Like for example, on La Prada, you go on, you can't take northbound 635 to get to La Prada, and you can't enter 635 from southbound. You can't enter southbound 635 from La Prada, and that caused lots of problems because people couldn't use certain places, and they had to depend on taking other roads to get to those places instead of using the freeway that is supposed to supposedly connect all of it. And this project has been in planning for a long time. It's been talked about since probably the early 2000s, and was also majorly talked about once they completed the LBJ Express project, which was from US 75 to a little bit west of I-35E. So that also meant that they want to improve traffic east of US 75 because that was also very backed up. And they're kind of going by what was built first in this case, because that section west of US 75 was built first before that section east of US 75. And it's currently what they're trying to improve and kind of make more concurrent to make sense. And also, the project's been going on for 4 years, since 2020. It's made lots of improvements. A lot of things have been opened, and the approach the project's taken has been more of a, they want to work on the frontage roads first and start connecting the local streets before they start doing the main lanes. The largest success was that because frontage roads started being opened bit by bit in 2022. It's not completely open yet, but we have more of a fuller picture now as the project nears completion because they're building furniture in places that hasn't built before, and they had to build noise walls to block out to stop people from having to hear who live by the project area, and it kind of took years to do stats, but as of now, there's lots of new frontiers open. And once they were working on frontier, and they actually saw that it started once that stuff started getting completed, they started working on the mainlanes. And as of now, new mainland has been opened from McCree Road to west of Greenville Avenue, and that's very much more progress than I expected by now, to be honest, because it looked like they were just not gonna open mainlanes. And it was just, especially on the east side of 635, because it was looking very bleak, and I don't think it's not close to complete yet, but they're working on it and they're doing more. Yeah, so 635. So 635 also has many interchanges with mostly important Dallas roads. One I'll focus on for now, right now going on first, is the Skillman Street one. The Skillman Street was placed as a pretty odd uh, type of curvature. I can't say it that way, but the bridge is slanted. It's slanted, as you'll see here. The bridge is slanted, and it goes, and it also kind of stops a lot going on in the area because the people of the Lake Highlands neighborhood wanted the bridge to be improved for a while and wanted the area to kind of be actually try to be made better. So for this bridge, they decided to not just make it in a regular style, which was just just two U-turn lanes, 3 lanes, left turn, right turn. No, instead they made a new steg bridge that will light up at night, that will um, that will have a special design and will be signature. This bridge is currently on construction because I will show how it looks like as of now and how it will look like when it's completed in its whole configuration. As you can see, it's getting close to complete because they've been working on it for a year, and you can also see the temporary bridge which they built to accommodate traffic while they completely reconstruct the actual bridge, and they've had to close the westbound exit to Skillman Street and kind of close the Road off there so they can work and complete the bridge as they've been planning to do for years to make it a staple of the community and actually make it look special. I think I'll now turn on my attention to all the other bridges in the project because mostly those have been complete. The overpasses at Greenville. Greenville is basically, it's completely done. There's U-turn lanes open there. I think on both sides. They've absolutely done an exemplary job there. The ones at Abrams and Forest Lane are mostly half open, but the front roads are fully functioning, and those bridges probably will be open soon because they're getting stuff done on the second half of the bridge, and it's actually looking pretty good for that area. And also the overpasses in Mesquite, both those bridges are half open, but they're not complete yet because the second half of both those bridges are currently in construction and currently being built. But the main thing that this project was aiming to improve was on the oldest modern interchange in Texas, which was the I-31. Currently, almost all the new direct connectors are open except for one, which is almost complete and probably should be open by next month. And it's very it's also very good that they're finally getting stuff done there because for a while it would have looked like stuff wouldn't have gotten done in those areas, but During the year 2024 especially, they ramped up. They really started putting everything into the project because things started mass opening in 2024, and they really started getting stuff done. Like for example, northbound direct connectors, both of them were finished this year. Um, even from I-30, because when you exit from I-30 to northbound 635, yeah, both those direct connectors were completed. They have to close up the I-30 frontage road just to make sure they get those bridges over I-635 completed, because when you get those complete, so you can get the frontage road done first, and since 635 main lanes are the last part of it, that will be done last. Uh, now that we're talking about Mesquite, I'll talk about the Gus Thomason Road Bridge. So Gus Thomason Road, let me just give a brief overview of this video. It's basically a bridge that goes, it was basically, originally, Gus Thomason went over I-30, but it was rearranged so I-30 goes over Gus Thomason, and this bridge is nearly complete, in the sense that half it's open, but the second half needs to be complete, as they're working on it, and they're starting to lay the groundwork for Gus Thomason underpass to go under it, and 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 the closures lasted for a while. One of the main points I criticized in the other video was that this closure was supposed to happen way earlier, and it was kind of meant to happen like in 2022, but happened like a year later, which was kind of startled me, because it was originally supposed to happen like October 2022, but happened in August 2023. But you know, the project did get delayed because of COVID, the pandemic, weather, snowstorms too, and the weather conditions were always very nice to the project because the weather was extreme. But now that I've talked about, I think most of the things of this project, I also have to, I'll conclude by talking about the express lanes, because the whole project improvement is 5 lanes in each direction and 1 express lane in each direction. But what to do with the express lanes is kind of special, because they're going to use the express lanes to kind of connect to the direct connectors that lead you to I-30 and US 75 respectfully, because they start work on the I-30, on the exit from the express lanes to I-30 and the exit from the express lanes to US 75, and it kind of goes vice versa, because northbound 635 ramp from I-30 will include an exit to the express lanes from I-30, and will and US 75, and the US 75 exit to eastbound 635 will include an exit to the express lane east of US 75. So they're using that to kind of connect everything. They've done lots of good things for the front road, local access, and this project will be complete soon, and it seems like they're finally taking this seriously, which I am absolutely excited about, because it wasn't like they weren't taking it seriously before, but drainage, relocations, and that stuff takes time. And the 635 project is definitely doing things right now, because the project looks way more complete than it did back in the day, and it's looking very close to its final configuration. And this project is meant to kind of clear things up and make the freeway better. So thank you for this video, and next video will be about the Southern Gateway project, and how 2 years later, how does it look now, and has it actually improved traffic in that area. The 635 East project has made a lot of progress in 2024, and we're here to talk about it today. So in this video, we'll be talking about the 635 East project again, which started in 2020 and is scheduled to be completed by the end of 2025. This project is on 635 from US 75, east of US 75, to I-30, and on I-30 from uh, Gus Thomason all the way to Galloway Avenue, or around the West Drive, that area. So to start things off, this project is a very expensive one. It costs $1.6 billion. It is meant to improve almost 14 miles of roadway, and it's certainly very taxing on the people going through and throughout these areas, because construction's been there for a while. And for a while, it kind of did look bleak because it looked like progress wasn't really being made, and it looked like for their said opening date really wouldn't actually happen. But things picked up a lot this year, and it looks like they actually got they picked up the pace on the project, which is something I like to see. So we'll start from US 75 downward, and we'll talk about everything that's happened. So first off, from about around TI Boulevard uh, to 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 about Centerville, the westbound main lanes were shifted onto new pavement this year. This had not happened before, because before 2024, the main lanes had mostly stayed on the old pavement while they were working on the new pavement to the east of the old westbound main lanes of 635, and that was pretty horrible because it looked like they weren't actually getting stuff done. But eventually, they picked up the pace. They finished the bridges, and they opened that portion of 635 gradually, because the first portion of 635 to open was from around Jupiter Road to from Jupiter Road to Plano, and that was around May this year, and during July, and by July it was open from Jupiter to Greenville, and that means the westbound main lanes are shipped onto new pavement, onto a new bridge, and exit ramps were reconfigured to their permanent locations instead of the dodgy ones that were already put the asphalt over it, and that stuff ends up making it very confusing to drive on because you have to shift a lot. But since the main lanes are configured to their new permanent layout, the exit ramps are now much better and much more streamlined. On eastbound 635, they also opened a section of main lane from Greenville Avenue, the same, like east of US 75, all the way to about west of Skillman Street, which is where the lanes shift back onto the original pavement. It looks like from here the plan is to have both sides go on one boat. The westbound and eastbound lanes be on one side, while they completely reconfigure the right side of the freeway, the eastbound side, which is similar to what they did in the Southern Gateway project in the final year of construction, where they kind of shifted, where they kind of made, while they had completed one side, they had to shift the other side there so they could work on that side of the main lanes more effectively and actually reconstruct it. So then after they did that, they could shift that to the new concrete, and then work on the express lanes and open it, which is kind of similar approach they take from this point out. But it is way different to the approach they take uh, west of Skillman Street, where the freeway is more split, and then there's kind of like half and half, and then The express lanes are supposed to go down the middle, which is what they're currently doing west of Skilman Street, but east of Skilman Street they kind of look like they're more configured to be on one side. Also, multiple bridges open. The Miller Road Bridge is basically complete. U-turn lanes are almost accessible there, or they are at this point. Greenville Avenue, obviously both U-turn lanes are accessible. The whole bridge is open and it's complete at this point. Abrams, somewhat, Forest, somewhat not. Those bridges aren't complete. They still have to lay some concrete somewhere, but the frontage roads there are completely open and the place is way more connected than it was. Also, if you notice at Greenville, for months, there's been extra piers that have been saved there because of the express lanes exit to US 75 and vice versa, because there's a US, because they're gonna add the US 75 ramp to eastbound 635 on express lanes ramp, so that's why they have those extra piers saved there at Greenville Avenue, which kind of makes sense, but not really, I guess. But no, they do. Because those were the original plan, even when they kind of modified the plan slightly to only have one express lane in each direction. Those ramps are still there because because express lane exits to the major highways, I guess, decrease the burn of traffic merging onto US 75 and I-30, and I guess it's a quicker way to get there. Now heading to Garland. In Garland, lots of work was done, as you know. Almost all of 635 is open in Garland, except for the Centerville Bridge, which is kind of still being used as a for the Northwest Drive, for Northwest Highway exit. Excuse me for saying Northwest Drive. That's its destination in Mesquite, not Garland. For Northwest Highway exit, but west of that, it's 635 is transferred onto new mainlanes, and the frontage road in Garland is almost all open, except for maybe, not, except for like west of Shiloh Road, because that's kind of where the frontage road ends currently, because they still have to work on the frontage road ramps, even though they've opened the bridge up finally at Garland Road, which I didn't actually think they were going to get done this year, but somehow they did. Very quickly actually, and after they finish that, I'm pretty sure 635 in Garland, at least on the westbound side, will be complete. Eastbound, looking eastbound, the front road is mostly open, because you know how it's open from northwest side with the Centerville to La Prada. It's all open there. You can see it, and wow, I'm running 10 minutes now, but yeah. And as for the main lanes are kind of not really in Garden, especially not. They're still in the original configuration. They're still on the old pavement. They haven't been transferred onto a new bridge in Garland, because that shift happens near entering Mesquite, not in Garland. Because that shift happens at the La Prada, near La Prada Drive, where they shift the eastbound main lanes onto the new pavement, and they shift the westbound / northbound lanes onto the old eastbound pavement, so they can work effectively on the northbound / westbound bridge for 635. As you can see in these photos. Now that we went to Mesquite, lots of work's been done there. Lots of things have been opened this year. And the project, especially the I-30 interchange, is looking very much near complete. this year. For starters, Gus Thomason is open. It's finally out. It's finally active after a year of construction on that bridge. They finally opened it in all as a signalized intersection, as an underpass to I-30. They also opened. They also shifted the direction of the Oates Drive. Um, the Oates Drive ramp to go onto the new La Plata Bridge for northbound 635, and they also tweaked up a few things there. Oates Drive Bridge is looking pretty much the same this whole year. They haven't done much there. Galloway Bridge has kind of been is partially open. Those Drive bridges too, but it looks like not much has been done since they opened the first half of it, first half the new bridge in May 2023. But the other, but as we approach I-30, this is where things start to take a little shift. The exit to I-30 has been shifted. It kind of temporarily takes you to a new pavement under um, under the Oates Drive and Galloway bridges to get you to the new exit to the I-30 ramps, so I-30 westbound and eastbound ramps. For the I-30 westbound ramp, that traffic was transferred onto the new bridge of I-30 that went over Gus Thomason instead of being detoured onto the Frontage Road, which is how it was when construction was still ongoing for the bridge. They also opened all 8 direct connectors at the I-30 I-635 interchange, and all of that is open. And westbound I-30 is pretty much in its final configuration, except for like express lanes and some stuff. The westbound bridge to 635, the westbound bridge of I-30 going over I-635 is open, as well as the westbound Frontage Road bridge is also open to kind of make more sense of the Gus Thompson interchange, and kind of no longer and kind of stop the detour they had to do to the westbound I-30 Frontage Road while they were working on the bridge. They also shifted northbound 635 north of Town East Boulevard onto new pavement, and they made a lot of progress this year. So hopefully, hopefully I covered most of everything that happened. There are a few closures happening right now. On Daily Road, I think in Dallas, is somewhat being closed up because they're still working on the new bridge, the new signature bridge at Skillman Street. They're still working on lots of things. They're still working on the kind of complicated interchange at Garland Road. They're still working on the Miller Road intersection to make it go from a more of a jug handle interchange to an actual signalized one, which they've only been successful with at the westbound on the westbound side so far for 635. Hopefully I provide some insight onto this a very long project, and hopefully it gets completed by the end of 2025, because it looks very much on course for that.